can lock in interest rates as low as 1.9% on select used John Deere planters, tractors, sprayers, and combines. Red hot rates combined with our explosive discounts make July the perfect time to buy and save. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer July 31st, 2025. Some-approved financing. Offer may change anytime without notice.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
What do you look for when searching for a plumbing company? Integrity, positive customer reviews? Are they insured and fully licensed? How about a company that has all three? Deals Plumbing in Lincoln is your go-to certified plumbing company that can help you fix anything from leaks to clogs, water heaters, and more. Give Deals Plumbing a call today at 402-525-7311, or you can visit Deals Plumbing online at dealsplumbing.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We're going to be partly to mostly cloudy here for your Friday. Very slight chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon into this evening. High temperature of 83 degrees with a light southerly wind. We'll drop down to 70 for a low tonight before we hit 90 for a high on Saturday, and then we'll be pushing triple digits Sunday and Monday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School, the New School Way. We are coming at you live, 1040 O Street. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Old Cheney / Andremat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. A lot going on, obviously, in the sports world. On the block, we covered almost everything and anything. Obviously, holding it down after a quick 4 days in Las Vegas for Big Ten Media Days. And so to go right along with that, you know, as we said during On the Block, that when you do your media days, now we were talking about football and then obviously volleyball coming up here soon, which we will have our very own Nick Upgrade Stainert up there covering that for 93.7 The Ticket, is that the season starts. And the coaches said it too. We asked Coach Rule when he came. He was gracious enough to come over and give us 5 to 10 minutes, probably more than they originally told us. And that's
because we're a good time. We're a good hang.
Well, it's all. I mean, we obviously appreciate it. They're busy. Their schedule's tight. I think their coaches and players' schedules were more tight based on the kind of the segmented maze that you had going on right there, and so. He said he's excited. He's excited to be down there. He's excited for it to be over because that means the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's the way it was, we didn't have media days in the pros. What we had in Buffalo was like the kickoff luncheon.
Ah.
And then you knew it was on because the training camp started a couple days later.
What happened to the kickoff luncheon?
You just would, ticket holders. You'd have, have 4 of us there and eat lunch. And then who was the guy? Is it Tim Respite? He was like a national, like TV guy. Was from Buffalo. He passed away a few years ago. He was like the MC. He was cool. He was a really good dude. And then of course, Wade would go up there and talk or whatever. So,
did Buffalo fans like Wade?
Yeah, they did until we started losing.
Well,
they love Wade. They liked Wade. And then they would always complain because he didn't wear a headset. And I never noticed it until I saw it in the paper. I'm like, let me see this.
Wait a second.
I was like, man, Coach Osborne always wore a headset. This dude ain't wearing no headset. Now, Wade didn't wear. Wade had a 1,000% trust in his assistant coaches. He made you earn his trust as a player. Once he trusted you, then it's all good. He didn't wear a headset all game. He did wear a headset. He wasn't. He was. They
wasn't calling in plays via smoke signal and.
Yeah, he knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need to hear all that gibber jabber. He knew the defense. So people got on him too much. It really wasn't that big a deal. But with the media days, the season kicks off. This is a new. I wouldn't say era for Nebraska because obviously, Matt Rule and company has been here for 2 years. It is a unique time in this program as we preview it because the elder statesmen, majority of them are gone, and guys that have been holdovers and been here for a long time. They're off in the NFL and stuff, and that's, great. They did, what they set out to do is get Nebraska, to a bowl game, won a bowl game. And so that, that's a tangible, asset, tangible progress. But now this is officially the era of the new faces. Dylan. Now Emmett's been here, but Emmett's now jettisoned to the starting spot. He is the guy. You RB1. You got to be the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we have new, transfer portal guys, but this is a new team. Ty and Nash being gone. It's just not Ty and Nash. It's Jamari Butler's gone. James Williams is gone.
John Bullock.
Yeah, Bullock is gone, who doesn't get enough credit. MJ Sherman is gone. Gifford's gone. Tommy Hill's gone. Now these guys, some guys have been here for a long time. Gifford's from Lincoln. His brother played. His dad is obviously involved in the program. He's a great athlete himself. So, the tenures are a little bit longer, but they're all long tenured guys. Now, MJ Sherman's a little bit small because he was a transfer portal, but you get what I'm saying.
But that's instant credibility in the locker room.
Yes,
for that guy.
And but the elder statesmen are gone,
Mm-hmm.
and the consistency and just exactly that number and defensively in particular, 0-9, 5. Luke was number 2. They were going to you knew exactly every single time they were going to be out there. They're all gone. Mm-hmm. So now you do have some older guys. You got Hartzog, Singleton, and obviously Buford, but the rest of the guys, they might have played spot duty here and there. Like Jeremiah Charles got in there a couple games and all that.
Even Sierra Wright, I think, is
Sierra
in that
Wright.
camp.
He's new because I don't think he started right away.
No, because it was Hartzog and Hill on the outside.
Right, and then
Sierra
when Hill got hurt, then
down.
he jumped in, and then obviously USC game was his coming out party. And obviously he had made plays before that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a whole new era. This is it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like this, I mean, Dylan was here last year, but this is, his first year, it's his first year in college. Now he's the guy. This is his team. This is Emmett's running back room.
Mm-hmm.
Now obviously Dane Key comes in, and obviously you got a new coach and all that. But now you got to think Ben Scott's gone. Bryce Benhart's gone. Now, look, they got beat up a lot. Bryce got beat up a lot.
He took his fair share of errors.
Right? But he was always out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're gone. So now you're seeing not a whole new offensive line, but this is a new offensive line. On the defensive line, now you got Van Poppel and Judy and Cam Lenhart. But this is their D-line room now. All those guys were backups. Now that doesn't mean that they can't step up and be productive, but they were playing behind stalwarts. And so this is a new team, a new era, kind of.
Mhm.
That if they all the things that the older guys have hopefully taught and they learn from watching, and they go out and replicate and then add their hopefully things to it, then you could just move on and go to bigger heights. And that's why, um, as we preview the team, Austin, it could not set up better for Nebraska. And this isn't to kind of put too much pressure on them, because I think the pressure you should welcome at this point. We need to welcome the pressure, but this isn't even really pressure. I'm saying this sets up well for Nebraska. Here's why I think it sets up well for Nebraska, and I want your opinion in the text line. Light us up as well. When you transition into year 3 or you're in your 3rd year and it's a new team, or to say a new era, right? A lot of times you could be playing Wisconsin's schedule, right? A hard schedule. You don't really get a lot of home game. Well, that isn't the case for Nebraska. You got a favorable schedule. You play the harder teams at home, USC, Michigan. You feel comfortable with Iowa because you've been battling with them, especially because you want some get back with them. Now you do go to Penn State, and that's fine because nothing can be perfect. But this couldn't set up any better for a new era, younger led team. And I really say it's younger led team because Dylan's a sophomore, but you have seniors on the team that have to take some leadership role. It couldn't set up any better.
It's a good year to have a good year for a lot of these guys in a lot of ways, right? You think about personally, you think about statistically, but really I think to set the new standard of success for this year, because like we talked about with Wisconsin, you could argue they had a little bit of that the first couple of years and didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But with Luke Fickell, their foundation isn't set. There's a lot of questions that they have to answer, not just about the team this year, but also the program as a whole. Whereas we like to think that Nebraska is answering some of those questions. Year 3 is kind of that prove it year for Matt Rule. I think it's kind of the platform year, right, for Dylan Raiola. I think how he does this year, Jay, probably ends up setting his NFL draft stock.
Yeah.
Right. Because so much of that conversation is influenced by not just the year you play, but the year before. Same thing in recruiting, right? It's your junior year, not always your senior year in recruiting. And again, that should be secondary. But to prove that Nebraska is on the right track, to prove that Nebraska is getting better, to prove that you were making use of your time, well, in Dylan and Emmett's case, on the field, right, getting reps as younger players, or other guys who were off the field, it's your time to step up into it. Now's when you prove that you were making good use of that time, that you were learning, you were watching, you were improving, you were getting better. And then that'll set the stage for when things, at least on paper, get tougher next year.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's kind of a combination year. This is a year that you got to show. I call it a maturity year. But as a program, go out and win the games you're supposed to, take advantage of the situation, which obviously is the schedule, but then also it's a building block year as well, because you got some young players that you'll have after this year, right? And so, when you think of, let's just look at the offensive line, right? You go get Elijah Pritchard and Rocco Spindler, both of them. I'm gonna call Elijah Pritchard a senior because he's trying to be one and done, right? He's got high aspirations for being drafted, right? And it looks the part for sure. But then you got Henry Latowski, he's a senior. We saw him down there. And then you have Justin Evans, and as of right now, Tyler Knack as the starter and 2 juniors. So you're able to build on that as well. And you got Gunnar Gatula coming down the pipe, Sam Sledge, and all those, Grant Bricks and all those guys, the younger guys that you can build upon. Ideally, if things go the way it should, they will get plenty enough reps to where you can reload instead of rebuild, right? Yeah. So you ideally, in their world of worlds, you would like to get those guys move into those positions that I talked about, starters before, and then you're way ahead of schedule in a harder schedule next year. And then obviously you got your quarterback coming back no matter what. Emmett's a junior. Lindenmeyer, the tight end's a junior. And then obviously Ja'Cory Barney's a sophomore, so he's coming back no matter what. And then you got Isaiah Hunter, who's a sophomore. He'll be a junior next year. And then obviously Dan Key is, a senior transfer. But behind him, you got Cortez Mills. And then you got Quinn Clark, and you got Demetrius Bell, and you got Keelan Smith, and Janarin Bonner's kind of in there. And we haven't even talking about my man Carter Nelson, wherever he fits in, right? And then obviously Heinrich Harburg is a senior and maybe trying to petition for another year, right? Yeah. So you talk about the now and the future, you're set up at least offensively to be somewhat productive, both in the short term and the long term.
And I think when you look at the offense, Jay, that group, I think, really needs to have a good year this year because the defense has shouldered so much of the load.
The offensive unit. Yeah.
Yes, as a group, right? How many times have we asked as fans to see the Nebraska defense bail out the offense? Oh, they went 3-0. Oh, they turned it over on a short field. Think about all the times the Nebraska defense pushed opponents back and led to a missed field goal or held opponents to a missed field goal. Now, the advantage the defense has is that's a unit that's seen success more so than the offense. And so I've said this on this program and others before, and I think it bears repeating. Just because we haven't seen these guys on the field doesn't mean they're not ready.
Yeah.
They were stuck behind some darn good players at a lot of those positions, but now on the defense, it's their chance to prove that they are ready. They're going to be growing pains. We don't expect it to be perfect, but you know about it, right? Waiting your time in 94, parlaying that into 95, seeing 96 happen and then getting after it again in 97.
Right. Just
because you didn't play or didn't have the same role one year, you were ready because you saw success. You mirrored the habits. You took that upon yourself to uphold that standard. That's what the defense is going for. On the other side, the offense has to get to that level to where, hey, we trust our defense. We trust these guys. We know the work they're putting in, but we also know that we've been on the field more than them. It's our turn to take the ball at the end of the game and go make something happen instead of leaving it in their hands.
Yeah, the offense needs to be the pace setters, in my opinion, coming into camp because, they have the quarterback position solidified. He has a year underneath his belt. You have a running back that you believe in, and you guys have more like productive veteran players. You pick up Elijah on paper. Elijah Pritchard and Rocco both come from national championship type of level programs. Both of them have started.
Yeah.
Right. Justin Evans was a starter. Henry Latowski was a starter. The only new starter, I'll say guaranteed starter that's new, according to this, and this is obviously competition based, but where it starts right now is Tyler Knack would be starting if it's the first game. Gunnar Gatula is on his heels, right? And then so that right there alone, you feel like you have more starts on the offensive line, along with the quarterback, running back, and then Ja'Cory Barney, throw him in there. And then obviously, guys like Luke Lindemeyer got to take the bull by the horns, and this is his first time being the guy. But the offense needs to be the tempo setter. And what I mean in tempo setter isn't just throwing the ball.
Right.
Tempo setter, and what Coach Rule said, I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think he said coming out of spring, he felt like the offensive line had the best spring. I think he said something like that. So that lets you know that there was continuity and progress, and then the things that the workable habits of the offensive line last year were taken and then amplified along with the new pieces, right? So, they need to be I call it carry the pail of water uphill, the slippery hill at the beginning of the season until you can get to some better footing into the defense. And that doesn't mean that the defense takes be second fiddle to the offense,
right? But
the continuity, I'd be very surprised that you start off like hitting the ground running defensively because you still got a lot of positions up for grabs. Where the offense, there's still competition, but they have more game reps underneath their belt, and they should be ahead of the defense at the start.
And I think Matt Rule said it to us. If not, he definitely said it at Big Ten Media Days. Yeah, we lost a lot of those guys on defense, but we expect this defense to be even better, right? And I don't think that's just bluster. I think that. I don't know what he actually thinks about where they are defensively, but his point is that they're not going to use everything they lost to stop them on their quest from improvement. They're not going to use this year as a chance to throw themselves a pity party. Oh, we're young. Oh, we're inexperienced. Yeah, whatever happens in terms of growing pains with new guys and a new coordinator. Well, it just happens. We'll chalk it up to that and be better next year. He says, no, fellas, because of who you're replacing, you need to go above and beyond to get back to that level and then exceed that level at some point. And it's going to be interesting to see how the defense responds because from inside the program, Matt Rule's message, I think, resonates. It needs to resonate. But what it does to the outside is say, for guys like me, not been in a defensive locker room, not been in meetings, I am more likely to give the defense some slack if it's not up to that standard or the level that Nebraska's played at the last few years. Is that it's human for me, to sit here and say, Yeah, no, yeah, you guys should be better than you've shown maybe in these first couple games, but I get it. There's some growing pains. Whereas inside the walls, it needs to be, hey, that's not the standard. We got to fix it.
Yeah, I don't think the standard is going to change. Really, to be honest with you, I think he's going to amp up the standard
Mm-hmm.
because because number one, that's just the way it should be. Number two, the easiest thing for a young player to do, and everybody goes through it. So I went through it and at every level, high school, college, and pros, is the built-in excuse in the back of your mind that I'm a young guy.
Yeah.
There's an old saying: 6 games into your freshman year, and it goes for all these guys that are freshmen because you're eligible to play 4 games. So actually, 4 games into your freshman year, you're no longer a freshman.
You're a sophomore.
You're a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we're going to expect you to be playing better than a true freshman. We're going to be expecting you play better than a sophomore or a redshirt freshman, wherever you are in your tenure.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the expectation should be, or the standard should always be high. And that's how you build a traditional defense, a traditional offense, an offensive line. And it's no different that when you look at Nick Saban, when he was able to have all those coaches in the turnover, the standard is still a standard. You better be the best coach at your position or your coordinator position while you're here at Alabama, because that's the standard.
Yeah.
It's excellence. And it's no different when he's talking about defensively. I would always ask, I guess people out there listening, why would you up there lower their expectations?
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like to be in 94 and chomping at the bit to get out there and then getting it, starting in 95. And then, I know what it's like when I was my first few games when I was a rookie and just mainly playing special teams. And then when I'm playing, there was articles written in Buffalo. Is he good? Can he handle it? So everybody goes through this process. Everybody goes through the process.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't believe it, I know if there's young people listening or texters out there, just Google Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk got in the game because the guy that they had starting over him got hurt. And he's one of the best running backs of all time. And then the next thing is rest is history. So they didn't know if Marshall Faulk was that guy. Matter of fact, the whole nation didn't know, including Nebraska, because everybody else wanted him to play DB until he became that guy. If you want to go recent terms or recent time with Nebraska, Amir Abdullah, they had question of whether he could be the guy. I thought he could be the guy because every time he showed consistent improvement every single year. And then obviously he had a huge improvement from his third year to his fourth year. Everybody has doubts until you show it. There's doubts with Dylan last year. There's doubts right now. There's doubts with Aiden Childs. There's doubts with it. There was doubts with Peyton Manning if he could actually do what he did in college in the pros.
I still doubt Tom Brady. He's retired.
Right. And so there's always going to be doubt, but you don't get a scholarship to Nebraska in theory or in reality without having the capabilities.
Yeah.
Now, what you've done with your situation while you wait, and there's an old saying, will you work while you wait? How hard will you work while you wait?
Mm-hmm.
Because if your work or if you're working hard is circumstantial, all right, here's the funny story. I remember a dad or something saying, well, his kid was playing another sport, and I was like, well, all right, just if he's just going to be here half the time, then put him on my gold level team. These guys are kind of like a well-oiled machine. He's probably good enough, but ain't around. He's like, oh well, he'll work harder if he's on that team. Well, he ain't here no way. So that means you're circumstantial. So,
well, it's like a contract year guy.
Right,
all of a sudden I'm about to get paid.
About
It's right there. Or, I just got big money. Now I'll get paid.
Yeah.
But I think I like, will you work while you wait? Because that's,
or have you been?
Or
working?
have you been? Because usually, Jay, you can probably attest to this. I haven't seen this in college and the pros. I would hope that we live in a society that has some meritocracy to it, that the people that do work actually lessen the amount of time they have to wait because of their work.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's circumstantial, obviously, and all that, but there is the art to it. There is a reason to it. Now, sometimes if you're good enough or as good in your waiting, I do understand when people that's how guys get in the portal, right? And then it works out wherever you go because your talent takes over. But for these guys that are going to play on defense, everything that they've been waiting for, and it hasn't, and you don't sit over there and be like, "Oh, I'm better than that dude." It's just like, all right, I gotta practice, I gotta prepare like I'm a starter, but I have to know right now I'm not as good or as consistent as Ty Nash or whoever's out there playing. But when I get out there, I'm gonna prove my worth to myself, and then obviously everybody else will see it as well. But that work, what we're talking about, was done and had to be done while you were getting second team reps, or you were having to be the best scout team player for the team last year. If you think that you're just going to be the starter this year and then you're going to be all conference, you're crazy. And I'm going to tell you this real quick before we go to break. I'm a huge advocate for redshirting. Now, these guys don't. I wish I was in the situation where you redshirt and you get to play 4 games. I'm a huge advocate for redshirting. Number one, well, first of all, I had to, that so I didn't do my work in high school. But here's why I felt like I had an advantage to go from my last high school game, playoffs, to coming to Nebraska, redshirting, to starting all 4 years, is because I took every single rep as a scout team player. So, when you think about Coach Osborne was notorious for having 150, 200 plays of practice. So I took every single rep. So that means I'm getting, let's just say you do 100 run plays and 100 pass plays. I'm getting that 4 times a week. That's when we practice 4 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That's a whole lot more information than someone's getting 50 plays.
Right, but every team runs cover 3. Every team runs cover 1. Every team ran cover 4, and they might have a different tag name for it, but that's where we're running. So I got all those reps, right? Some good, some bad, and then I started to get better at it. Versus the guys that I competed with in the spring might have been second on the depth chart, third on the depth chart, and fourth, because you go first and second team, right? But they're only getting 20 reps of practice. So that's how you catch them, surpass them, and make it so they never can catch you. Yeah. Because that work ethic and that sacrifice and that experience of playing, and you're going against, Tommy Frazier, Lawrence Phillips, Brooke Barons, and all those dudes. I don't think I'd make it in the league then. Or it's harder because then I mean, you know how many reps I got that year? 200
a week, 200 a day, 4 days a week.
I mean, that's
20 weeks.
Invaluable.
Yeah.
So then as you try to make that transition to a starter, and that's what these guys hopefully, now they don't get the same reps, but I was saying the approach is there, they'll be just fine. And there's going to be growing pains anyways. I mean, heck, there was growing pains when I started in 97. It's 3 years into this thing. I was like, I still, so there's always, you got to, get your, you're in on even footing. But for these guys, it's a tremendous opportunity. So the preview, that's a good preview of overall the team. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We'll discuss which players and which units are going to dictate the outcome of this season. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School, the New School Way. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Don't miss the 8th Annual Wing Fest on Saturday, July 26th at Haymarket Park from 5 till 8 p.m. Local restaurants will be serving wings from 5 to 7 p.m. with live music going until 8. Ice cream and beverages will also be available for purchase, and all the proceeds from the event will go to benefit students in the local community. Get your tickets today at wingfestlincoln.com and make sure you attend the 8th Annual Wing Fest at Haymarket Park on July 26th.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
This July, Acres is celebrating the birth of our nation. The fireworks include the opportunity to save big with great pricing on our late model John Deere ag equipment. Plus, you can lock in interest rates as low as 1.9% on select used John Deere planters, tractors, sprayers, and combines. Red hot rates combined with our explosive discounts make July the perfect time to buy and save. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer July 31st, 2025. Some financing offer may change anytime without notice.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, second segment, Old School Nebraska preview. I don't know when they report or when they start practicing, boy, but I'll tell you that clock going fast. Hey, you better get all your little PlayStation games in or whatever you got going on, making sure, I was
Coach, I'm studying the playbook. It's right here on the PlayStation.
Yeah, you better do. Well, you know the plays, but any of the fun time that you use, that you really got into, you better get your last little games in. I mean, for real. I play with a guy named Eric Flowers. He's a good dude too. He loved Madden. What,
the video game or the guy?
The video game. This brother would either leave training camp or have his, or so when you're in training camp, doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're at the site of the facility or you're off. If your wife comes after, I wasn't married at the time, but so I'm just assuming you could, if she needed to drop something off or something, they'll let her through security, or the security will bring it up.
Yeah.
This brother would have his, this is training camp, especially, I remember this, no doubt, in Houston. It was hot. I was my second year there. I hated it just because we were staying in the residence inn, and it was like, the bed was okay, but it was like, dog, I'm leaving when it's dark. I'm coming home when it's dark. I knew Madden was coming out.
Uh-huh.
And this is when, there was lines around the corner at the Game Stops or whatever.
Yep.
he would have his wife go and stand in line to get the Madden or get there early whenever it come out. And then we'd be in meetings all day and all night. And then, say I think our curfew might have been a 10 or 11. We'd get back to the hotel about 9. And he would have her bring it, and he would play PlayStation, the Madden, all night. All night.
Nice. Studying the playbook.
Yeah, some dudes, and then when we go on, so there was a couple games that I knew he was inactive because he was an outside linebacker, and I was the inside.
Yeah.
He'd be inactive. When you're inactive, man, you just...
He finds out on Friday, and then you don't see him Saturday?
He's a Friday, no, he would travel. So some teams bring their, they'll bring some guys, but he was a, Friday inactive in Houston we were going. But, when I was inactive, and the one time I was active, but I knew I wasn't going to play, I'm bringing, a change of drawers in my suit, some shorts, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And not playbook, everything.
Yeah.
He brought the duffel bag. So you know what was in there, right? Mm-hmm. So that means he wasn't paying attention to no game plan or anything. He was on the PlayStation. Now, he was a good dude, and he ended up being a good player. But
in spite of himself in some ways?
Yeah, he was good. I think he was a good player. He was all right. His first round pick and under pressure. That was a Greg Williams Williams was trying to draft him to be Javon Curse.
That's right.
But man, it's now as we, we're getting to it, and we previewed it where we, what position group is going to, make or break the team. For me, I think it's going to be the linebacker group for the team.
Shocker. Who guys seen that coming?
I'm going to stay. I've been consistent. I
you
can't
have
say
been,
that I've been
consistent.
Been, but reason why, because I think they have I think they have a wide variety of interchangeable pieces. They have now this is everybody steps up and plays their role. They have depth, or potentially could have depth.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Javen Wright, you got the law firm, you got Shavers, you got Bauer, and so you got 4. I'm just talking about the inside guys.
Yeah.
And Javen can kick outside and can play some third down. Shavers can be your blitzer. You got the law firm that can be your plugger, but the leadership. And then you got Bauer that's kind of a little bit of everything, right? Surprise and all that stuff. The reason why I think the linebackers are so important is because as this defensive line starts to mature in the position identity and role definition starts to kind of come to fruition, they have enough playing experience and playmaking ability and athletic ability to cover it up in the run and the pass. Right. And I think Javen Wright's experience of playing third down linebacker should pay dividends, right? Where he can call the plays, set the defense, make plays. And obviously you have veterans behind you. So therefore the continuity is good, right? That where he can, whatever the checks are, can make sure Judy and all those guys are in there. Then you have the law firm that's played millions of plays at his previous stop he knows how to prepare, he knows how to lead. And then you have Shavers that was able to play in the bowl game and make some plays. You can play all 3 of them at the same time. So then therefore, offensively, you can put more pressure on the coordinators as far as the personnel packages because you can blitz, cover, and all that. And then you have Bauer that's kind of been, obviously, coming to the forefront and earning playing time. So I think that's why I think they will dictate the team. Now, it's easy to say offensive, defense. Let's just say that's a no.
Yeah.
And you can say the quarterback play is a known. Outside of the knowns, I'm going linebackers because the linebackers have a good year as a whole, 1 through 5 or 6 or however many plays. The defense will mature faster. Then therefore the team will be better. And then also, let's not forget, every single one of those players play a big role in special teams.
But you're kind of twisting my arm if you take the other obvious ones out of it. So I think you're onto something.
Well, no, you can take whoever. Austin, I'm looking at it a lot differently, I'd hope so, than you.
But I like your pick of the linebackers if I can't pick the O-line, the D-line, and the quarterback.
You can pick the outside linebacker.
I could, but I was going to group them all together as one.
Okay.
Because I think if you look at that linebacker group as a whole, throw your McGahee and Deshaun McCullough type guys in that
That's
group.
Fine. Yeah.
Because I think the defensive line, offensive line, sure, they both have to do their jobs. But I feel like with the linebackers that we think Nebraska has, the ones that are going to play. Bunch of different body types there, bunch of different skill sets, but they're versatile. They can all do some of the same things as well. And so even if the defensive line isn't at its best, you'd like to think Nebraska has the athletes at linebackers, as long as their play recognition is up to snuff and their communication is on point, that, okay, maybe defensive lineman missed a gap. Maybe dude got blown out of the water.
Right.
Nebraska's linebackers have the opportunity to be good enough to make up for that mistake.
Yeah, and
to be those erasers. Whereas the defensive backs, I think, are probably a little more reliant on the D-line and the linebackers to get pressure long term. That's just at any level, right? It's hard to be a cover corner,
right? Yeah,
in power leagues.
You need to cover. That's it. We'll holler at you later, But I think to go along your point, you could do. I mean, I guess if I was to say, you define the jack position. Okay, so essentially, I said the inside guys, the jack position is a linebacker group of its own.
Sure,
that's like your playmaking position. Right, ideally,
which Nebraska needs one dude to step up there,
right? So or two, right? So you're thinking, McCullough or McGahee, if they or individually take a big step or play like they're supposed to, and McGahee had shown flashes, and McCullough, getting a chance to, kind of double down on what he did at times in Oklahoma, everything else is be taken care of. Because if you think the defensive line is a wash, you're not a wash in the sense of they'll get it going, they'll hold their own. Because you got young guys like Keona Davis, Lafatu, and Williams Noweri. If he gets going, then you're just fine, right? And that's the three starters. So now your rotation of 6. But if you get that guy on the outside that can consistently get to the quarterback and the run and then be effective in the run and the pass, and generally you need 2. Oh, you ain't got to worry about it. I mean, you don't have to worry about it, but then that takes the defensive unit to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And it's not just sacks. Can you hit the quarterback? Can you affect the pass in play? Can you set the edge in the run? Can you be a factor even in the games that they run that allow some of these other players to get to the quarterback and do the same things that I said previously? Then you ain't got to worry about the schedule. Then you can worry about how does it look aesthetically. That's when you're really in a good position. When people will say, okay, how are we winning? Are we winning the right way?
Yeah.
And it starts with those, those two positions. And it's the line. It comes on the linebackers.
It does. And I think the linebackers have a slightly easier job of doing that compared to their counterpart on the offensive side, which would be the running backs. Because if your defensive line gets blown up, sure, you don't want a lineman getting to the second level, getting hands on you and getting you blocked. But at least you have some time to diagnose that, where it would probably take some superhuman, incredible efforts. But linebackers can clean that stuff up. It's a lot easier or simpler, I would guess, for a linebacker to clean up after a defensive lineman misses an assignment compared to a running back who's dead to rights in the backfield as he's receiving the handoff, to some degree. So you would like to think that, Emmett Johnson's success, Mekhi Nelson's success, Quentin Ives' success is less dependent on Dylan Raiola, obviously, than the wide receivers and then the tight ends.
Yeah.
But man, a defensive lineman or linebacker has you dead to rights in the backfield, 3 out of every 10 carries, 4 out of every 10 carries. That is an incredibly difficult way to make a living. Now, I'm not saying, getting a lineman up on you 3 or 4 out of 10 times as a linebacker is much easier, but it seems simpler and more straightforward from the linebacker position than the running back.
Yeah, you know what that's
with
called?
The talent Nebraska has specifically.
You know what that's called, Austin? That's called direct. I call that direct access.
Yeah.
And it does it affects the linebackers just as much as the running back, but you're right, it affects the running backs a lot more. Because let me tell you something, defensively, if I'm getting hit by linemen via direct access, you better make that play.
Yeah.
You better make that play. Offensively, if the running back is seeing direct access by the defensive line and linebackers, there ain't nothing he can do because he's out there on his own. So, the running backs do depend on the offensive line. And really, if we want to just kind of gloss over this whole thing, and, I think, there's going to be, an uptick in special teams, both in the, execution, the identity of special teams is different. Obviously, Mike Eckler, is a different identity. The dude's got energy for days. So it's going to be, you're going to probably be a little bit more aggressive, right? It's going to be, a little bit more challenging. I'm sure teams are going to have to prepare, for that type of, change in, the coach's mentality. So let's put that to the side. Not that it's, any less. But if you just want to gloss over the season, right? And for people out there listening, this is the easiest way. I won't say the easiest way, but the best way and the easiest way for me to evaluate the season. Do we decrease the percentage of direct access on offense and defense? Period. Because that will control it all. That I can predict that we'll be a better running team. I know we'll be a better passing team. I know we'll be a better, like a run stopping team. That means that we'll probably be better on third down because for Coach Butler and Coach Snow and Williams and everybody like that, they want to be a little bit more like complex and like coverage combination. I'm just kind of just guessing kind of like what they were saying. A little bit more simpler but more complex. So that means you're going to be a little bit more aggressive. That can be really live on stage when you got the offense in a predictable predicament.
Yeah.
And it all starts with that. So if I'm really just coming out there, I just need to just give me the readout of direct access plays.
When you think about direct access plays, generally speaking, not Nebraska specific, but for an offense or a defense, my guess would be that the vast majority of those direct access plays come from missing an assignment more so than the opposing coordinator making the perfect call at the perfect time.
And that happens. The good plays, like good calls, you just got to tip your hat. Right. You know what? We had a good play. You know what? They attacked our defense or our coverage.
They saw something.
Right. And they saw something or somebody makes a play. Tip your hat.
But that's what, 10%, 15%?
Well, you want to do less than that.
But I'm just saying of the direct access plays.
Yeah. And that's it. Right. So
it means 85 to 90% is just being assignment sound.
They get paid a lot of money too. And then also sometimes when you do the right thing and you get beat, that's not okay, but that's understandable because those guys they're actually getting paid too. Right. And they're good players. The direct access plays that I'm talking about, I remember a couple of years ago. Well,
it's like when a guard and a center and a tackle don't communicate, you slide the wrong way, something like that.
We played Wisconsin at home. And I think it was a really cold game. And they had a big defensive tackle. Is it Benton?
Keanu Benton?
Yeah. He was due too. And we were playing him, and it was a crucial down. And there was a play to the left, and like he kind of like, scooped it. He stunted to the left. It was a play to our left, his right, stunted, and like three guys missed him. He made a tackle. It was a crucial part, and I think it was against, Adrian or somebody like that, or maybe it was Logan Smothers or something like that. I think that was the game a few years ago because he's been in the NFL for 2-3 years,
something like that.
Yeah. So it was. I think it was Mickey's last year or Mickey's. Yeah, it was that game. That's the direct, and it was 2 or 3 crucial plays
that he took over.
It was 2 plays, back-to-back drives. That's the dude we have to get blocked, and we didn't block him. That's the direct access plays that I'm talking about, or defensively. Or we'll even talk about the play that when Adrian got hurt with his elbow and they ran the TE stunt and he came down and got him. Where we don't want him to have direct access to hit the quarterback and stuff like that. And then defensively, I've been there. I'll tell the story real quick. When Seth Payne got hurt, Terrence Martin came in, and I had to adjust how I played because I was getting a lot more direct access. Now, they probably were game planning for that, but Terrence was not as sound as Seth, but he had to make those plays. And so defensively, direct access, if I had to give you a kind of a snapshot of it, you don't want that running back to not have to break his stride getting to the second level up on the safeties. So you want him to, I call it, deviate from his path. You want him to bow. You want to burp the lineman, and the lineman, what I mean by this, if you guys could imagine it, say a lineman's pulling, or he's trying to like scoop block or like base block a defensive end, and you punch him and you hit him and he just like burps a little bit back. Now ideally you want to blow him up and reset the line of scrimmage. What that does is makes that running back pitter patter. That allows the defensive linebackers to go make plays. What you don't want is, you come down and you think you got an alley filler and you got everything all kind of, schemed up, right? and you see this a lot of times on Friday nights when me and Nick are calling football games. So they'll run they'll come out in 11 personnel, 3 wides, and they'll run a zone to the slot, right? So, the defensive end, or they'll do an RPO. The defensive end will take the dive play, and then the linebacker will be on the quarterback. Well, the guy on the outside forgets to set the edge. He goes inside, and next thing you know, he's up on the safety. The running back is up on the safety, and there's a ton of green grass, and it's a no-win situation. You eliminate those. Not eliminate, but you really for instance, say it was 20% in 1 year, and you get down to 10%, you're probably New Year's Day bowl.
And then the next year, take that 10 to 7.5 or 5.
Right. Yeah. Because when you think about it, think about the Ohio State, Oregon game. When Junkins and those when they're hitting it downhill, it's tough. But when they're all bottled up like Michigan, they look like average players.
Well, and see, that's kind of the Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin of your strategy is they might not have the ceiling, but they can certainly raise the floor.
Right.
And if you raise the floor and eliminate the negatives, you don't have to add as many positives because you're not going to sink as low.
Yeah, that's that Bill Belichick. More games are lost than won.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so you take that mentality, it'll be good. So anyway, second segment, Husker preview. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. Take a quick break, put a bow on this long week here at the Ticket. Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through July 29th are 15% off cheese and crackers, grass-fed, grass-finished tri-tips for $10.99, 820 ground beef trays for $6.99, and brisket flats for $9.99. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursdays at the Mercado East or Fired Up Fridays at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or 168th and Maple and Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through July 27th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA choice boneless ribeye steaks for $9.99 each. All natural thick-cut bone and pork chops for $1.69 per pound. All variety of pork sausages, $2.99 per pound. And check out the meat bundle, 50 items for $50. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards. Best new car dealer, best auto repair, and best place to get your oil changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for best pre-owned dealer and best tire dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You're invited to Valentino's big jumbo anniversary party, and we've got a gift just for you. On Thursday, July 31st, only buy one jumbo 16-inch pizza at a regular price and get a second pizza free. Hamburger or cheese pizza only on original crust. It's our way of saying thanks for sharing Valentino's tradition for over 68 years. Celebrate with a slice of Valentino's tradition on us. Pre-orders start July 30th, online, by phone, or in person, and the offer is good for July 31st only. Carry out or delivery at participating Valentino's locations.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. One quick segment here before we turn it over to corner three. Then I think the Royals are at 6:30, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, anyways, report day is soon, within the next 96 hours. How about that?
How about that?
Yeah, 96 hours. It's half of 48 hours is what you need to win 12 games. Ultimate concentration, performance, want to, and intent for 4 hours for 12 games. And then you double that because you only got another 2 days on top of that to get into camp.
When you double 2 days, you get
96 hours.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of those, you ever see people on TikTok, they'd be like, 2 + 2, and people will be like 5. You ever see the Chrisley guy that got out of prison?
No.
When his kids were somebody had $10 and something cost $3.81, and the kid was saying you get $7 back. And he was like, no.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Good try.
Well, anyway, yeah, well, that's what, listen, the time is ticking, just like that crosswalk over there. That's what it looks like. If we could pan out there, that's what the days look like, Austin. That's what it seems like.
Monday, camp. We just hit it.
Yeah.
We're there.
And you know what? It's a good thing, but it's also, it's hard. And that's the way it should be. Football's a hard sport. So, don't run away from it. I always, when I got to about a year, like 7, 8, I was like, especially because Dom Capers, man. You like the Junction boys out there. But anyways, appreciate you guys listening for the last 3 hours on the block, Old School. Jay Foreman for my man, Austin Norman. Have a great weekend. Then obviously stop by the Mercado because I think we're going to get some grilling weather. It is on like Donkey Kong. We'll holler at you next week.
What do you look for when searching for a plumbing company?
Integrity, positive customer reviews. Are they insured and fully licensed? How about a company that has all three? Deals Plumbing in Lincoln is your go-to certified plumbing company that can help you fix anything from leaks to clogs, water heaters, and more. Give Deals Plumbing a call today at 402-525-7311, or you can visit Deals Plumbing online at dealsplumbing.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at